This is lesson 16-4, relating customary and metric measures. Our essential question, how can you convert between measurement systems? And we're going to be using this table to help us do that. There's no vocab for this lesson. Example number 1. So this is very similar to what we've been doing, but now we're just going between customary and metric. Now, customary and metric conversions are not exact. So these are approximate answers. They're about. They're not exact answers. So for number 1, we have 5 inches to X amount of centimeters. So we write that as our first part of the proportion. Equals, and now we look at the chart to compare inches to centimeters, which I see right here. So we write that as the second part of our proportion. 1 inch equals 2 54/100 centimeters. Now we cross multiply. 1 times X is just X. And 5 times 2 54/100. Let's do that. So I'm going to put 2 54/100 on top because it has more digits. So 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 2 is 27. And 2 times 5 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Now we see how many places to move the decimal. It's 2 places in our number, so we move it 2 places in our answer. So our answer is 12 70/100. Example 2, we have 2 miles over X kilometers equals, now we look in the chart to find the comparison of miles and kilometers, which is right here, and we write that in as the second part of our proportion. 1 mile is equal to 1 609,000 kilometers. And now we cross multiply. 2 times 1 609,000. Let's do that. 9 times 2 is 18. 0 times 2 is 0 plus the 1. 6 times 2 is 12. And 2 times 1 is 2 plus the 1. Then we count how many places we move the decimal in our number, which is 3. So we move it that many places in our answer. So we have 3 218,000 equals 1 times X is X. So if we go back up to our original problem, 2 miles equals 3 218 kilometers. Example 3, we have 113 grams equals X ounces. So we look in the chart to compare grams and ounces. And I see that right here. So remember, you have to line it up in the chart. I have 1 ounce, which is OZ is the abbreviation, for 28 350,000 grams. I had to line up the grams and line up the ounces. And now we can cross multiply. So 28 350,000 grams times X just becomes 28 350,000 X equals 113 times 1 is just 113. Now we have to get x by itself. This is a multiplication problem, so we have to divide on both sides. This side crosses itself out, and let's do the division. So we have 113 divided by 28 and 350 thousandths. Now remember, we can have a decimal in our divisor, so we have to move it over until it is gone. So we move it over 3 times. Whatever we do to the divisor, we have to do to the dividend. So we pretend that the decimal's at the end because there is no decimal in our number. And we move it over 1, 2, 3 times. So that means we have to add 3 zeros. And 28,350 goes into 113,000 3 times, which is 85,050. We subtract and we get 27,950. That can't go in, so we're going to have to add a decimal and a 0. Bring the decimal up. And that's going to go in 9 times. And we're going to go ahead and stop there because I said that these answers did not have to be exact because converting between customary and metric are not exact. So our answer is 3 9/10. And example 4, we have 13 2/10 kilograms over X pounds. Now I look at my chart and find the comparison between kilograms and pounds. And I see that here. I see 1 pound. Remember, you have to line those up. That's why I'm putting it on the bottom. Equals 454 thousandths kilograms. Cross multiply. 13 2/10 kilograms times 1 equals 13 2/10. And 454 thousandths times X equals 454 thousandths X. We have to get X by itself. So we have to divide on both sides. That side crosses itself out. And when we divide 13 2/10 divided by 454 thousandths, we get approximately 29. So X equals 29. So 13 2/10 kilograms equals 29 pounds. All right, you're doing the same things here. Set up a proportion, use the table, cross multiply to solve. Don't forget a word problem or a question, and rate your understanding.